And just like that, we are back on the air. Hello, everybody. This is Jurassic Hustle, a hustle 65 million years in the making. As always, I am your host, DJ Chucky Chan, martial arts expert of Reptar Land.
This is DJ Drix. We're sharing the same mic tonight because this other mic is dead.
It appears some dastardly fiend has broken into the studio and decided to sabotage the mic because they decided the show, it's too good.
It's too powerful.
It's just too good. We have to stop it. But guess what? You're not going to stop it. It's like what would really happen if Lord of the Rings was real. Sauron would have raffle stomped everybody.
Oh, they're coming back. Cool.
Oh, 1 second. I'll get that.
Okay. So we got some guests coming on the show tonight. I actually don't know what their DJ names are. So the fun part is going to be 4 people sharing one mic. It sounds like something you shouldn't watch after 10 p.m. So joining us in the studio, I don't know if you guys have DJ names or what.
You guys have names that you would use as a DJ.
I use my own
Okay,
name.
I'm going to max this thing out, so go ahead and talk freely. This should be fine. I'll watch levels.
So welcome.
Oh, I always peek. It's fine. I'm
You
gonna
always
have to
peek?
fix it. Yeah.
I haven't even begun to peek.
I'm a 5-star man.
You see, she's a pro at peeking. She's been doing it since high school. So
I had a really bad high school experience. I don't know why you would say that.
that's my first thing said
like
on the
in
show.
like in general, or like a really good story type of experience.
Not even. It's just boring and like sad.
Oh,
For like the first 2 years.
that's high school.
I know.
And
I
this
know.
is good radio, right?
Yeah, mine was exciting and sad, so it's it's an interesting contrast.
Yeah. No. My senior year is the only day.
I dated psychopaths and had a lightsaber fight in front of the entire school.
Dated in many quotes.
I got in trouble for saying the word coitus in a school play.
Hey.
Hey.
Anything to get the audience in.
Hey.
Wait,
All right.
was the coitus scripted, or did you
No,
just like
No,
throw it in?
the
He
word,
had
the
sex
word,
with
the
someone.
word. Yeah, no, I had
Wow.
live,
Right there on stage.
uncensored sex on stage in front of a Sunday afternoon matinee of old people.
But was it
And
scripted?
children.
But was it scripted?
No, it was all
Emile,
improv.
obviously.
When you're in the
Do
moment,
you even know art, Emile?
Honestly,
know
no.
it?
God, it's like you haven't even stuttered the French auteurs.
You're right, I haven't.
It's like you guys don't have a radio show discussing movies with him, because then you would realize how little he knows about art.
Hey,
Really?
you know what?
Actually,
What?
I know a good movie.
He
No,
hadn't
okay.
heard of 3 Billboards.
So you like art movies?
I like good
You
movies.
like good movies with artistic value.
Yes,
And you like movies
obviously.
in general. So this is probably a better question for you. What do you think of Boss Baby?
Honestly, no. My experience with Boss
Because
Baby
I
is
thought
amazing.
it was hilarious.
Because I watched it in a car, like on one of those little car
Oh,
TVs
yeah,
on the way
that's
to
it.
Cedar Point. But I didn't have the little headphones on because the kids in the back were listening to it, so I watched the entirety of Boss Baby because it was held hostage
With no sound.
No sound. Had no idea what the dialogue was.
That's
I loved
amazing.
it.
nice.
Great. It's
It's
nominated
like-
for best animated picture, guys.
You know how
Didn't get there on purpose.
you know how
Nice.
Nolan said that Dunkirk was meant to be viewed in IMAX with the full
Which-
surround sound.
Boss
That's how
Yeah.
Boss Baby was meant to be
Should've
viewed.
been, yeah, with also the D-box seats.
You know,
It's like
Moves around.
Dunkirk doesn't win any awards at the Oscars, and Nolan just says if everybody had watched it the way I told him to, it totally would have won.
100%. Which, when I watched Dunkirk and this is turning into a movie show. When I watched Dunkirk in IMAX, I wanted to die because I watched it standard first. Then I went back and watched it in IMAX, and I felt like an old person because I had a headache the entire
Yeah.
time.
It's like,
No,
it's
mine
too
is
real.
Too loud.
my mom took my grandmother, my 87-year-old grandmother,
Mistake.
to see Dunkirk in IMAX.
That
And they were
seems
sitting
rude.
in
That's
one
like
of
she
the
lived
She
seats.
through
took
it.
me.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's heard those noises like
I
firsthand.
remember living through the Blitz.
Dude, she's an old Polish lady. Like, it
Oh,
really...
oh no! Okay,
Ooh,
so
that's a bad take.
Yeah.
jumping right in, we have some guests on the show tonight. They actually have their own show here at WCKS. I don't. What's the name of the show?
Just go ahead,
actually?
plug it.
Losers Club.
Name
Losers
pending.
Losers
Nice.
He hates
Nice.
that. He hates that name. I love
How
it.
do you not like
Name
that?
pending.
But you are a loser.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's okay.
That's the nicest thing someone...
Because
anyone has said to me all
losers
day.
are the
Someone.
ones that beat the clown.
Yeah. Tell me a little something
The
about
clown
yourself.
is capitalism. Oh, we talk.
Yeah.
We talk about movies in general. Sometimes we'll just review one that we recently watched.
Okay.
And then sometimes we have just like a theme. Like one time we just did coming of age, like ranked our favorites.
Oh, yeah.
16 Candles, yes or no?
I sure.
Yes. Yes. 16 Candles,
Sure.
definitely.
Like
What was your number
better.
one? Out of curiosity.
Shoot. What
Oh,
was
for coming of age?
for coming of age movies? Oh my goodness. That was so long.
That was
Do
a
we
long
still
time
have the
ago.
doc?
I probably still have it.
Oh, you guys have
Talk about things.
documentation.
She has documentation.
That's
I'm the
one-
way more professional than
Wild.
I ever expected from
No,
the
I
studio.
literally-
Well,
I
I,
literally just
write
show
the
up.
show.
Oh my
You guys
God,
have
that
a
would win.
script?
No.
That
One
would win.
time. One time, I was very proud of this, and Emile hated it. I made, because you know how like Christmas movies are super formulaic,
Of
like
course.
the Hallmark ones. I made like a Mad Lib of a typical Hallmark Christmas movie, and had him like fill it in, and it was so funny.
That
and
sounds amazing.
Emile did
we-
not care
no,
at all.
no.
Tricks,
and
what the hell? Why didn't we think of that?
You want to know? You want to know the best thing?
Well, I missed it. I wasn't even here for the conversation.
Christmas ad lib with the basic Christmas movie
Mad
formula.
Lib.
Mad.
Oh.
No, it's called
I
Mad.
wrote a Mad
it's called
Lib,
Mad
and he didn't
because
care.
it's crazy.
I feel like I just kicked like a bee's nest when I misspoke that.
No,
but anyway.
It's
You
not
put
ad-
your
he's-
face in a hornet's nest.
You basically
said
committed a
ad-lib,
hate
like
crime.
4 times on air.
But anyway, like, and whenever I couldn't come up with a word, I just looked in who it was
Al
Al Franken's
memoir.
autobiography. Just opened the book, put my finger down, and I
First-
used that word.
Yeah, that was
Amazing.
the funniest part. I
Honestly,
So Christmas movies. How do you guys feel about people that say Die Hard's their favorite Christmas movie?
they're terrible people.
think.
'Cause-
It's a weird demographic.
Because I'm ashamed to say, back in like early days of high school, I was one of those people.
Right, but it's one
But-
of those people that's like trying really hard to be like,
No,
I
but then,
get it.
but then I rediscovered Jingle All the Way, and now that's my
Sure.
favorite Christmas
Sure.
Oh,
movie.
Jingle All the Way
That
is so
movie
good,
is
though.
amazing.
See, I like
Arnold Schwarzenegger knocks out a deer, a reindeer. It's amazing, and
Not
he gets
just
it.
any deer,
He
a
gets it.
reindeer.
He
Yeah,
gets it.
Rudolph, the red nose, right? His nose is red because it's bleeding.
He gets it drunk. I
That's
remember
intense.
that.
Oh, man.
It's a callback to one of his earlier roles as Conan the Barbarian, in which in that
Oh,
movie
it
he
is.
punches a camel and knocks it out,
yeah.
which was a what I would say a genre defining moment.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
the camera had a
definitely.
stunt double. for
The
that.
Yes, probably.
the camel punching genre. It's
No,
a good
it's
one.
it's amazing.
That's a very niche role. the
I've
camel
actually-
punching genre, but I really enjoy a good camel punch.
Actually, fun
Me
fact:
too.
I've boycotted every Oscars since the '80s simply because Conan and
Conan.
Predator
Conan.
have never won Oscars.
That makes sense to me. That's a good course of action. That'll show.
Yeah, that'll show them.
Elite Hollywood.
Yeah.
Stick it to the man.
Oh crap! Some guy in
Hashtag
Michigan doesn't want to watch our
Hashtag Oscars so white they can't even have an Austrian man as the best actor.
Yeah. So that's basically what we do. We just
I like it a lot.
That's a good. I like it. It's got a lot more structure than we're used to.
You
It's
said
very good.
actually, do you script it? You said.
not
No.
really. We like come up with topics and then I come up with like
Headline.
things I want to
Yeah.
discuss, and
Okay.
Emile just wings it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
a
I've been-
kindred spirit, I see.
Indeed. No, I've been winging it for 4 years.
Because I mean, like I had a kind of structured show my freshman year, but like I didn't even plan anything going into it. I just sort of was flying by the seat of my pants the whole time.
Question for you guys: did you know what his last show was? The late night, early morning.
Late night, early morning
Because
bedtime
it is-
stories for grown-ups.
It's my
Oh my gosh.
favorite show probably ever to ever.
I would.
grace the
It
wheel
used
in
to
the
be.
past
It
4
used to be
years.
midnight to 2 a.m. Monday night. I would come in.
What?
I would come here
Yeah, it
here
used to be open
immediately.
till 2 a.m.
Immediately after Drix and Slam, and I would sit here for 2 hours and read fan fiction that I found.
Oh my gosh!
It was amazing.
so good.
It was.
I love
I
that.
would consider it a golden age of radio, more or
Yeah.
less.
Me too.
It was definitely. Man,
Especially
we need
'cause
an
he
FM
didn't-
signal back.
He didn't screen it.
No,
Oh,
So he
that's
just
so
no.
went
funny.
in.
I
That's so
literally I
funny.
would sit in the whale radio meeting, and I would just like browse. That title looks interesting. That title looks, and I would just have like 3 or 4 maybe, and I'd come in and I'd read them up until things got too racy or too incomprehensible.
So you got like 3 paragraphs in.
Yeah, well, some were good. Well, I mean, none of them were
Was it
good.
the-
Some were better than
Was
others.
it the
Well,
SpongeBob
yeah.
Sonic crossover that got really?
There was
Oh.
there was a SpongeBob My
Send me the
Little
link.
Pony
My Little
crossover
Pony.
that got real rapey real fast,
Oh.
and I had to. I tried to
Pull
skim
the plug.
around because I was like, oh god, I hope the scene
Yeah,
ends soon.
skip ahead.
And then
Maybe
it turns
they'll
out
get
the
past
That's
whole
the whole
story
thing.
was that, and I was like, ooh. Yeah, I read a couple in like Portuguese, I think, one night.
What are some of the combinations what were your favorites?
My favorite. Well,
say.
I mean, you kind of had to like Sonic because literally
Right.
everything crossed over with Sonic.
Sonic's a man of mystery.
It was like Sonic.
No, we know too much about
Sonic.
Sonic.
Sonic is literally like a
Shadow.
universe.
Mystery.
You're right.
Oh, my favorite was one of the first ones I read was Shadow and Shrek in high school.
Yeah,
It was a
I
high
love
school
that
romance.
one.
That
I think-
was
Actually, was that your first show?
that was like the first night.
Because I remember Pete and I sticking around. Either we were here or we tuned in because we're like, oh, we showed the new guys the rope. Let's listen to them.
That's
And we-
so
we-
funny.
You just tune in like halfway through the story.
Is this guy? Is this fan fiction? This is fan fiction?
Yeah. Oh god, there were some good ones. There was a like a Sonic Harry Potter one that crossed over.
Sure.
I mean,
Did you read the
What
famous,
was that one
the
called?
Harry Potter one? The I'm Ebony Darkness, whatever.
no,
the one, you know what I'm talking about? What's it called? What's it called? I'm so
I
mad
don't
that
read a
can't
lot
think
of Harry Potter related things.
No,
That's-
it's literally famous for how weird it is and how bad it is.
She got a book deal. The girl who wrote this got
Yes.
a book deal.
It's
interesting.
infamous. It's so infamous. I'm gonna look it up.
It's a long one too.
I'm pretty
Like
sure,
it's a
actually-
novel.
That was the night because that was the night we first heard you. You probably had like 30
My
listeners
Immortal.
that night.
That's
interesting.
Because I said it. Everyone I knew. I'm like, tune in. This
wow,
is ridiculous.
it really was all downhill from there.
I found it.
Oh,
Wait, what was it called?
My Immortal.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did Emile. And
that
his roommate
sounds
and I,
really familiar, actually.
Emile, his roommate, and I all did a dramatic reading of it one time. Like
It was fun.
completely unprompted, completely sober. Like just in
Oh, that's not
our
Mildly
apartments.
sober.
That's
Mildly sober.
sober.
very funny. I might have to like send you a cease and desist for that because that is my intellectual property.
It was great.
I don't think there's any
And-
intellect going into that, dude.
The best part of this, like, this crossover is because this girl who's obviously going through, like, the most aggressive scene face you've ever seen in a human being.
Just the likes of which we've never seen.
There's
like,
a good
unprecedented.
For every 2 paragraphs of like actual plot, there's 1 paragraph describing what she's wearing.
Yes!
It's always black leather.
No,
It's always black
did
leather.
you guys
What
have
else would you wear?
Yeah, right?
Did you guys have scene kids in your high school?
Yes.
Because I remember I had
Oh, yeah.
there was one girl and she smelled heavily of like Campbell's soup. I don't know what that was
Which-
about.
Like low sodium, or because there's difference. Very definitive.
Very high
yeah.
sodium.
Oh boy.
I was like, my friend came up to me. He's like, saying, I don't like being around her. She smells like soup all the time. I was like, what?
She's actually listening right now. Call
Yeah.
in.
Oh, that'd be
If
awkward.
you know who she is, call
so,
in.
listeners, if you happen to be listening in and you smell like soup, please call in.
Yeah.
616
If you smell like soup, tell me what you're doing with your life.
and specify
Eating a lot of
the soup. Campbell's does diversify at this point. I think originally it was just
Smell
the
like
chicken noodle,
Chunkies.
but we have good chunkies.
Oh,
That's
Chunkies.
chunky.
we'll have to go. We'll go to a commercial break talking about chunkies. But the number is 616-331-2875. 616-331-2875. Give us a call. So
And
back,
just
down
like
Emile's
just like that, we
This
are
is how
back.
I know your show isn't scripted.
Hello, everybody. This is Jurassic Hustle, a hustle 65 million years in the making. As always, I'm your host, DJ Ozymandias. Look upon my works,
my
ye
God.
mighty, and despair.
I'm DJ Drake.
Despair's so good.
Ozymandias.
So, honestly, that's a great one to start out with too. But we were just talking recently about Thor Ragnarok over the break, and I am a huge comic nerd. Like that is my favorite thing. I grew up on
Who's your
reading
favorite
novels,
superhero?
stuff like that, and I have to say I'm actually getting a bit of superhero fatigue. Probably Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
Aquaman.
What? Aquaman?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay, well in terms of
Mine's-
DC,
Mine's
Blue Beetle.
Spawn.
Blue Beetle?
It's Blue Beetle from
I
DC.
can respect that.
You guys
Yeah.
know Spawn?
Yes,
Spawn
I know
is dope.
Have you guys seen the Spawn movie?
I don't like
No.
to talk about that period of my life.
Don't gasp.
You have Oh, you need to watch it.
I don't think I do.
It's a masterpiece.
Based on how you said that, I feel like it's
No,
not.
the way to convince her
It's-
to watch a
Go on.
movie is you gotta tell
It's
her
bad.
it was at a film festival.
It
Or
was
some
at a
artsy
film.
stuff.
It was an HBO original.
It was the Cinemax
Stop it.
original.
No.
It was a Cinemax original?
Hey.
But
Yeah.
Oh.
I agree with that.
yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Hellboy and Spawn are the best.
In general, I really appreciated the kind of different take where it was almost more buddy cop.
Yeah.
That's
Throughout the
pretty
movie, I didn't think the movie was that great overall, like in terms of if we're ranking all Marvel movies. I thought it was one of the better ones.
I agree.
I liked it a lot more than the last couple.
Yeah.
Mostly because it didn't have Scarlet Witch in it.
The writing was very bad. I thought the writing was terrible.
The writing was dumb.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was the 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm a sucker for
Definitely.
anything that's like 80 synth.
Yeah.
So
The 80s synth pop soundtrack
and
was
also
incredible.
the colors.
Sorry, Lena.
I just liked Kate Blanchett's motivation felt a little dry for me, but I just liked that Kate Blanchett was in it.
Yeah,
she did good with what she had.
I agree.
I don't know if she
I
had.
agree with the writing statement though. I feel like
see,
it was a little bit just kind of like it fell flat.
For me, Jeff Goldblum has always been kind of a father figure to me, so I really enjoy Jeff Goldblum.
My favorite part about Jeff Goldblum...
That's your soundbite.
It was Jeff Goldblum playing Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
that was just his character.
Give the audience what they want.
Yeah, sure.
Honestly.
There were, I felt, a couple of like forced laughs where like they were really like, this is gonna be funny, and you're just like, like
you're like what?
I would say that was kind of my big argument with Marvel as of late. They're very, very into ruining a moment with comedy, and that can be
Guardians.
done once.
Guardians started
I think,
but they do it well.
Yeah,
What
they do it
other
well,
movies
but
try to
I think the motivation behind that is they're trying to make it appeal to a wider audience, and they're nervous that if they show like, oh, these comics actually are serious sometimes, that'll push people.
And then Logan came out.
That's I think what they're literally worried about.
Well, DC went tripled down on the serious part.
Yeah.
Well, you know why they did that?
Dark.
Basically, the people at Warner Bros. Are idiots. And,
you heard it here
that
first.
explains it.
No. And basically, they looked at Christian Bale's Batman movies, and they were like,
those are really good.
These are really good, and they're dark. Obviously, they want every comic book character in the DC universe to be dark.
Right.
You know, because this one character who's supposed to be dark.
Let's make Aquaman dark.
Works so well as dark and gritty.
Let's have Superman, the guy called the Blue Boy Scout. Let's have him never smile.
Yeah,
Let's have him not
kill him.
Yeah,
let's have him snap a man's neck.
And you know
this
what?
is the storyboard meeting.
Let's have Batman in the next movie just kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Aren't you guys worried that we're being too dark? Maybe we should lighten things up a bit. Yeah, tell that to Zod's snapped neck.
No, I love it. It's just like, I think it's from the new Injustice game. There's a scene where he's just like, and remember, we do not kill. And then it was every scene mashed together like on a big screen of him killing people.
No, it's fine. They're rubber bullets. It's fine.
He's sleeping.
Because they're like
those videos.
Because they're like, oh, everybody likes Batman, but people also like the Punisher. What if we put them together?
Yeah. The Punish Man.
Bat Punish. The Batter.
This is I the Batter. But,
that'll strike fear into your heart.
I'm going to deliver justice with my bat-shaped
I
bullets.
feel like if we were to take that old cat in a hat meme and make him a superhero, his name would have been the Batter.
Yes.
Okay.
I have never seen that movie.
Guilty
But
pleasure.
every time I see that screen cap with him and the bat, I lose it.
I adore that movie, actually.
It's a delight.
It's that my sister and I watched that movie almost monthly growing up.
Honestly,
I adore that movie.
I feel like it shaped a lot of my very weird on-edge humor.
Yep.
And I like how it, like, as a kid's movie, very obviously exists in a different universe, which I know with, like, fantasy movies, that kind of just happens. With that, it's, like, parallel, but obviously not where we are. And I love that.
Yeah, it's from the Philippines.
You know
not
how
our
10-year-olds are.
Philippines.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that movie was what Dr. Seuss saw right before he died. Like, you know how they have that one thing where it's like, this is an EKG of a man who just died. Is this the face of God?
Honestly, I loved all of the. I'm gonna just call them parody Dr. Seuss. 'Cause that and the Grinch, I adore both of those movies.
Fully.
They are so good. They are so not appropriate for children.
No,
Oh no.
Which is my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
The part where he's like, you
completely
dirty hoe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry baby, I love you. And he licks the hoe.
Yeah, right.
Completely, like, driven by the main character's performances.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
And now Michael Myers is dead under a bridge.
Yeah, what happened?
The Love Guru happened.
I think Shrek killed him.
It's all Logan.
No, see what happened. You guys remember Tron Legacy? What happened is that Mike Myers got trapped in a Shrek movie, and now he's trying to get out, but he
They have
can't
to make one more
He
sequel.
can't get him out because they have to make another one, but they can't make
He has
another
to
one because
fight
he's not there.
He has
They
to fight
raised
the
Chris Farley from the grave.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has to fight the entire cast of Smash Mouth to get out of try, and it'll never happen.
Oh
because
no,
the
they're too
whole-
powerful.
The whole
No.
They come together like Voltron.
No, the whole. If you ever seen the All-Star music video, it's them as superheroes, like doing auditions for a new superhero.
I love that
And so
music
it's the
video,
superhero version of them, and he's got to fight his way out. And it's not just.
And they just don't stop coming.
They don't
stop
stop
coming,
coming.
and they don't stop
Have
coming.
you guys heard that? The Don't
What?
Stop Coming
And the
version.
Don't Stop Coming.
And the
Yeah.
Don't Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
That's.
remember-
You're speaking to the meme queen.
I remember
Oh.
my freshman.
Oh, really?
Oh,
no.
oh,
I opened another can of worms.
You want to?
This is
You
the
want to
king.
try? You
This
want
is the king,
You
I'm
want to
just
try
saying.
that?
Yeah, go ahead and test me. I'm not afraid.
Oh, ooh,
Okay.
oh, you
Well,
don't-
I'm
you
gonna
don't
play
know.
a commercial break.
You don't know what
then
sort
real
of
quick.
hell
Thanks
you have
for tuning
wrought.
in.
And we're back again. Hello, everybody. This is Jurassic Hustle, a hustle 65 million years in the making. As always, I'm your host, DJ Feral Gazelle.
Oh.
This is DJ Drix. We have some guests on the show tonight. Go ahead and introduce yourself for anyone just tuning in. They've been here for 43 minutes now, but in case you missed the first 42.
Boy, did you miss out.
I am Alaina Taylor.
I'm DJ Midichlorian.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh, please.
Oh.
Just DJ MIDI would be great.
MIDI!
Oh, actually,
MIDI on that beat.
Yeah, 'cause
actually, yeah. I'm. That sounds good, man. I might actually use that.
yeah, do
There
it.
you go. You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm
That's
actually
what we're here for.
What can
Yeah.
I say except you're welcome?
Oh man. Okay, can we talk about Disney movies for a second? I'm not a huge fan of them, but in general,
I
but,
watched
like,
Moana again this weekend.
Moana. How did you guys feel about that?
Slaps.
I liked it more than Frozen for
Yes,
sure.
that's what I was gonna say. It was a better Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
For sure.
And like I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he wrote the songs for it, so
Oh,
I
really?
appreciated that. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
'Cause
Lin-
also over the summer, I work at a movie theater, so the trailer would always come on, and I would be walking around the halls, and every time I would hear it, I would like dart into the theater so I could just look at it for just a little bit. So I anticipated actually for a very long time because I knew he was like part of the project, and I liked that they just made that she was like it was kind of like a Brave in a way because she's like
Yeah.
a kind of a kid. She doesn't have a love interest.
There's no romantic thing going on.
Yeah,
at
which
all.
I don't know.
I'm
From
here
the
for.
ocean.
Aside from the implication,
Hey, what's
aside
up
from
with
the
that?
implications between Maui and Tafiti, I guess.
Is
Yeah.
that? Do they have like a dark romantic?
I mean, he
past?
rips her heart out.
I mean,
maybe.
Sounds like
Oh.
every relationship I've been in.
Oh,
There you go.
man.
Ew, reminds me of my ex-wife.
No, funny story about the "You're Welcome" song though. A buddy of mine wanted to make, among other gifts, it wasn't just this, but it was their 1 year anniversary of his girlfriend, and he wanted to make her kind of a soundtrack of their dating over the past
Oh,
year.
that's gay.
What is
I like that. No, that's
Okay.
cute.
Anyway, so starting from the beginning, kind of when they first met and whatever, and at the very end of it, I happened to have the Moana soundtrack on me, and so I threw it. I didn't tell him this. At the very end of the whole CD, "You're Welcome," but from Moana.
That's so
That's
funny.
And she directly messaged me something like that. She's like, "You made this, didn't you?" I'm just like, guilty as charged.
Which "You're Welcome" was it? Like,
What?
was it the whole song? You're
Yeah,
welcome.
but
Oh,
the
the
whole
one
song.
by
wow.
the
And
one
that
by
was-
Dwayne.
It was supposed to be them chronicling like the entire relationship, and at the very end, after this whole time, "You're welcome." So
Nice.
like you're thanking them for getting them
no,
together.
as in he was giving this to her.
And so, like, thank you for this lovely gift and for the wonderful relationship we've had, honey. You're welcome.
No, it was for "I'm awesome, you're welcome" type of thing.
Oh
I guess the humor's lost. It was fun for me.
no.
Well, the humor's
I
lost because
appreciate
he's
what
not
you're
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
And to be fair,
I'm also starting to realize that Dwayne the Rock Johnson plays Dwayne the Rock Johnson in every role he's in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's always good.
He's old. I mean, yeah, because the Dwayne the Rock Johnson is just a generally good person.
He is.
See,
It's funny seeing how
Oh
far
no, he's about to give an example of when
See-
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Well,
was
he used to
good.
be a
I can
heel.
tell.
He used to be a heel in the WWE. He was
Right.
yeah, so that's
I
basically
like
the
him
last
in
time he
all
was
of
a
his
villain.
roles where he is the big muscular tough guy. I don't like him when he shows up with other big muscular tough guys.
Oh.
Maybe
Then
that's just me.
it's
Like in
Maybe-
the Fast and Furious movies, it
Well,
just
Fast and
seemed
Furious
extra.
movies are
So you
bad
didn't
because
like
they're
the
bad.
so you didn't like the movie Predator then?
No.
Well, no,
You
because
like-
it didn't have Dwayne Rock Johnson.
Well, no, but it was
wasn't-
big beefy dudes with other big beefy
Yeah, but
dudes.
this is Schwarzenegger. we're
and a
talking
big
about.
beefy alien.
He is the beefiest beef. He is the entirety of Arby's.
That movie will make your cholesterol skyrocket with all that beef.
Arnold
That was
Meatcraft
actually the original
Schwarzenegger.
tagline.
If it beefs, we can kill it.
Famous last words of Tupac, actually.
Oh no! He's still alive. What are you talking about?
Yeah. R.I.P. I didn't have.
I had a friend who got in trouble in history class one time because somebody told him Tupac was dead, and he freaked out and yelled that Tupac isn't dead. Tupac lives on Tupac Island. I think he ended up going to detention after that.
One time, I was like, how old was I? I was probably like 15, and my cousin is a year younger than me, and she got me a birthday card. On the inside, all it said is, Tupac is still alive. That's all. It was like a blank inside card.
That's all it said.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering, Tupac's still alive.
Yeah.
Death Row Records sent a
case
hit
I had
squad to your
forgotten.
house right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. FBI checks your phone.
Human.
So the Hail Mary thing. Did you hear about when Pete was saw what was his name? He was a comedian who came here a few years ago.
Jeff Foxworthy.
No.
You might be a Laker.
No, shut up! Shut up!
If you think T. Haas should run for president of the United States, you might be a Laker.
Oh my god! I don't know why I can't think of his name.
How do you
now.
destroy memories?
Continue,
What's he
please.
look like?
He was
Ruin
He was
her.
one of the African American comedians on SNL over the past 10
Jay
years.
Farrell.
Jay Farrell. Yep.
Oh,
Thank
shit.
you.
Nice.
What can I
Nice.
say? Except you're welcome.
Good
You
name.
lost it. Anyway,
Jay
so
also
Jay Farrell was
obvious.
here at Grand Valley a few years back. And he's doing his set or whatever. And at one point, he starts the beginning of the song "Hail Mary" by Tupac, and he gets it up there, and the whole crowd is kind of silent, except for Pete, which I don't know if you guys, you know Pete,
Yeah, I
right?
know
Some
Pete.
live there.
You know PETA?
Yeah. Stands up, starts rapping it back to him. Peter's actually an incredible rapper, and he raps it back to him. And Jay Farrell's like, "Come on up here," and so the two of them rap the entirety of "Hail Mary" on there at Grand Valley's that was their show for the year.
Oh my god.
And
That's so
they have a Twitter
fun.
picture together. It was insane. I don't think it's on there anymore. It was his profile picture. It might be in his actual media,
I would just.
but it was the craziest thing. I skipped that night because I was like, I'll just go to the gym. I don't like comedy
Oh,
that
hey,
much.
yo,
Yeah.
Were the gains worth it?
big.
No, because on the way back, he's calling me dude, I just got a snap or a picture with Jay Farrell, and it was really cool, and it was funny, and I rapped the song, and I'm like, okay, do you even lift, bro?
And Dom was trying to turn himself into a big slab of pastrami. Still.
Yeah,
Nice.
big step prosciutto.
Yeah,
No.
prosciutto makes me uncomfortable because it's not cooked.
This is
No.
the second time you have brought up prosciutto.
Because it's weird.
It is weird.
It's got a real
Even as an
strong
Italian, it's
umami
weird.
flavor. I'm not a big fan of umami. I gotta
Okay, you know to
admit.
stop that
All
right
right.
now.
All right.
Can't say I'm fond of the
No,
umami.
okay, we had a conversation for 20 minutes about umami.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation was about ranch.
Okay, but we got to the flavor, and he was just like, no, it isn't this. I'm like, no, it is this. And I turned off the mic, he's like, I had no idea what
It's
that
like, I have
was.
no
and
idea.
he argued it really well.
Oh, I've done that to Alaina so many times.
That's all I do, man.
The amount of
Name one good argument you've had.
Name one good
I
argument.
won the frickin' bracket.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
It's not,
you
it's not an argument.
No, okay, we made this bracket when we did our Halloween episode for our radio show. We did a March Madness bracket of to determine what the best Halloween movie is.
It was the one that wasn't a Halloween
Oh,
movie
yeah.
that won, right?
Yes, and
Scream's pretty Halloweeny.
Yeah.
it's just all of
To be fair, if you
Sure.
they shouldn't have beaten anything. For horror movies, at least.
Yeah. But you know what? Basically what would happen is I knew Alaina is very, very... Once she sets her mind on an opinion, she's very much she will entrench herself.
Oh yeah.
It's-
Even if halfway through I'm
World
like,
War
oh, I'm
I.
wrong. I'm like,
Yeah, no,
power
but,
through.
she'll double down no matter what, and it was our second airing of the show ever, and I was like, I gotta screw with her. So there were so many times where there was a show that, a movie that obviously was better, and I would just argue for the other one just to
Yes.
pad
It
out
was
time.
really, really frustrating. I called my mom. I'm not even kidding. I called my mom
she
afterwards
called
and I was
her
like,
mom.
Mom,
I
did you listen? Can you believe it?
I
was
sense a
so
kindred spirit,
mad.
midichlorian.
No, I made The Nightmare Before Christmas beat The Shining, and she hated me.
Yes!
She hated me so much.
That's-
for it.
I still
That's
hate
so
you
bad. That's
other reasons.
That's tantamount.
How did you argue that?
That
He
is
didn't.
I
He
won.
didn't. I clearly won, and
That-
then you were like, "No, Lena, And
That
then
is
we flipped a
tantamount
coin.
to a hate crime.
She was the one who came up with the
That-
flipping coin idea, and I won all the coin flips.
Okay, so that's on you.
No, he's the one that did the coin.
Clearly, he was using
I-
a trick coin.
You
Basically,
You should have
Can
checked.
you see the capillaries bursting in my eyes
No.
right now?
What we
Fun
learned-
fact: one of Elena's eyes is bright red now.
Like, it's
she
kind
is
of haunting.
furious still.
But no, one of the things we learned though, taking away from that, is one, I'm still good at being a devil's advocate, and I'm a terrible person. Two, it's really easy to piss Alaina off.
Well, you're not really a devil's advocate
Three.
at this point. You're just a devil.
You're just the devil.
Yeah, I'm just Satan.
You're just Satan.
And three, we can't do brackets without an odd number of people because otherwise it just leads to
need
a
a
lot of
tiebreaker.
gridlock and then a coin flip and then a very
Yeah,
angry
it had to
Alaina.
have been the worst radio of all time because we were literally just screaming at each other.
You
You
wanna-
were staring at
Oh.
me.
All right. Do you guys want to do a bracket?
Have you
Oh my
ever
gosh.
heard of our
Let's do
show?
Right.
I'll run the commercial real quick. Let's set up a bracket really.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Let's go.
oh.
All right.
And by the way, 2010.
Thought I was a werewolf because dogs really liked me.
To be fair,
That's
to
pretty middle
you-
school, man.
Also, we're live.
Oh, we're
Uh,
live. Hey,
Oh, and we're back again.
check out this incredibly sexy Badoo.
Welcome to welcome to Rainforest
Love
2018,
it.
the world's premier furry convention.
No. Premiere. As if there's a hierarchy of furry conventions.
There's some pretty
that-
crappy furry. Let's
you
do.
guys-
You guys want to do the furry convention bracket?
Okay, so
I don't think we're qualified.
T's poster the second semester, I think. It was literally just
It was it was like a
furry-
group photo from a furry convention that I just put my show information on.
and it said things are about to
It
get
was like
weird.
I said it's gonna get weird.
Yeah.
My god.
Anyway, so over the break, we cooked up a little bit of shenanigans for us. We have a bracket about movies, although we couldn't decide on a genre, so we just said random movies. Because of that, these might not be the most likely couple. Maybe one even argue odd couple, but
Hey.
anyway, we have some movies.
Okay, so
Go ahead and
let's
fire 'em
just
off, Emile.
let's just kick it off.
First one,
Let's
do it.
kick it.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape versus The Babadook?
Okay. What's the criteria that
Yeah, are
we're
we doing
basing
quality
this
or are we
Speed,
just doing who would win
power,
in a fight?
accuracy, utility.
Okay, so speed. I'm gonna look up running time.
Gilbert,
Okay.
Arnie,
I
Arnie's
guarantee-
Who would win in a fight?
Gilbert's
Grape
brother,
versus
Gilbert's mentally challenged brother Arnie is so fast he manages to evade detection on several occasions and escape to the town water tower, which is at least 3 miles away
Yes,
from his
but
house.
is he faster than the physical manifestation of PTSD? Because that's what the Babadook
Is he
is.
faster?
Arnie is
Fear.
incapable of suffering from PTSD, except when Arnie suffers from severe PTSD from that really cold bath Gilbert made him take when he went to go do the hanky panky with that one hippie chick.
Okay,
Alright.
screw it. This is just a who will win. The
Right.
characters of
That's
one movie
so
versus
funny.
the
I love
characters of
that.
the other.
Yes. Okay. So the Babadook versus Leonardo DiCaprio's
So you,
mentally handicapped.
the thing is, though, is you can't kill the Babadook.
No, you can't.
You can't kill.
You just put him in the basement and
Leonardo
forget about him.
Yeah. His only weakness is
Sure.
not being fed worms.
But Arnie would get out of the basement somehow. He would find a way.
Yeah, but Babadook's outside of the basement most of the movie.
How did they get him in the basement to begin with?
They faced their problems and got over it.
But
Overcoming.
Overcoming their problems.
Is Arnie capable of overcoming his problems? No, think about it. Arnie has a bad experience in the bathtub, never takes another bath for the rest of the movie.
that we see.
Now, keep in mind, Arnie has had plenty of good experiences in the bathtub, but one bad one, and suddenly he's done.
You've just made the argument for the Babadook really good while also making an argument for why you shouldn't be allowed on the air. Really good.
Oh, honey, you have no idea.
Our catchphrase besides 65 million, a hustle 65 million years in the making is we're so more
All
concerned-
actions and words are condoned by the Grand Valley State University.
Yes.
Oh
No,
my God.
more
This is their
concerned about
public-
whether or not we could than whether or not we should.
Yes.
So
Oh,
So
Okay.
I think that means Babadook wins.
I think
right?
Babadook won.
Babadook
yeah.
just
against my
slaps.
better
Babadook
judgment.
just killed.
Okay.
Look,
Into the
I didn't
next
didn't
week.
set up this bracket. I
Okay,
did not
Lenny,
send that lamb
read
to
them off
die.
next.
All right, next one we have coming up.
Okay.
No, pass.
We're just gonna pass.
Oh,
for
you're
it.
gonna
Okay.
do puff puff pass?
Yeah. Since we can't pass to
no.
the left.
So, the next. Oh, that's the bye.
That's the one that gets a first round bye, so it's.
I
it's
can
to work
read. Okay, so our next pairing is District 9 versus Undercover Brother.
Yes.
I've
Okay,
never
so-
seen Undercover Brother,
Nor
but I
have
know
I.
there was some crazy
The main
stuff
character
going on
from
in District
Undercover
9.
Brother versus
The guy
Charles
who
Copley.
turns into the
Yes,
alien?
Charles Copley.
Aliens
Okay.
with guns.
Because-
I'm gonna go with aliens with
because-
guns.
No.
Don't dismiss it too quick.
So he
Emile.
does get the gun, but Undercover Brother does have that hot sauce dispenser.
Yeah,
in his
okay,
watch.
so in the movie, at one point, and stay with me here, he's got, there's a whole thing, is the white people, they eat mayonnaise, and so there's no way this is
Sure.
happening for a brother. And so,
Oh.
Wow.
you can say that, that's part of the movie.
Go for it. Continue.
He's part of the Brotherhood. That's the organization that he
It was
works
more
for.
the way you said it.
And anyway, so he has a watch, like a spy watch, that can dispense hot sauce whenever he needs it.
Oh, sure.
And so at one point he says, I think we're in hot water because they're surrounded, or maybe hot sauce. And so he presses the watch and it spritzes a rather liberal amount of hot sauce at his foes.
Now, I will-
What a fun gag that
Now, I
is.
will say that District 9 really doesn't touch on how well the aliens handle hot sauce.
Right.
But they do
kinda
live in
gloss over
South
that.
Africa. Now, assuming from what little I would know about South African cuisine, I'm assuming it is quite spicy.
It is quite
So
spicy.
they probably have a
Sure.
pretty good handle on spicy food.
But he
And
also has Afro pick ninja stars.
true.
How effective are they against the African American ninja?
How effective would an Afro-pick ninja star be against the alien exoskeleton? It's shown they're not
That's
very strong.
true.
He does cut through his exoskeleton with that axe.
So what's an axe? That's a lot of
Right.
force and
We
weight.
Yeah,
say
but
that's
true.
not
Remember,
very-
he's very weak at this point, and so he's not swinging it very well,
Mm.
and it still manages to go through it.
But an axe does have a lot of weight and pivot behind
Right.
it.
That's what I'm
Even
saying.
if
You
it is-
could
True,
maybe
true.
sharpen the pick and then have multiple kind of like.
I think it already is sharpened.
I'm just.
To be fair, Undercover also has the Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Oh man.
True,
What
but
did
the
District
District
9 do
9,
about race
he had
relations?
the mech. He had the giant robot alien mech,
No. Yeah, if we're talking vehicles.
which might beat the Cadillac Coupe.
that might, just barely. Just barely.
Now, Cadillac Coupe de Ville probably going to get better gas mileage,
Yeah.
but
So in terms of the
And he's
environment,
looking solid.
okay, I think we can boil it down to this. In terms
Also,
of
if you
green
park
for
that-
the environment, Undercover Brother. In terms of actually winning in a fight, District
Yeah.
9.
to be fair, and also I don't want to keep stacking things against the Undercover Brother, but if he parked that Cadillac in that that slum, he comes back. Those wheels are gone.
Yeah.
I feel
That
like
car
he's
is
aware.
gone.
Yeah.
So I
I
guess
will admit defeat. Yeah, I think
So-
I'm just as
District
sad as
9?
you are.
Yeah, so just
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite movies of all time.
That movie is
so
amazing.
I
So
I
then-
adore that movie. I have it on Blu-ray.
If it were
Right.
if it were a white
Then
she
it's-
devil versus
So
him,
then
that'd be a different
these
story.
two-
Oh, yeah.
These ones are going to face
That's
off,
a fight
and
I
then
wanna
we're gonna
see.
go back
Whatever
and say
happened
that
to
one
Denise
versus that one,
Richards?
and that
She
one, that one.
die?
Winner
I mean,
goes.
she.
But then what about these?
She was married to
Oh, you put them
Charlie
there.
Sheen, so yeah, that's kind of
But
like that.
what about those guys? Oh, you did that already.
Yep.
Remember
Whatever.
Starship
Stupid.
Troopers?
Starship Troopers
Yeah.
was amazing.
That was a
Starship
good
Troopers was
movie
solid
that I
stuff.
didn't realize was about Nazis. Anyways,
No.
Hey.
Oh,
It
that's
was
not
about
that's
a
not
lot
sad.
of
It happens to the
things.
best of us.
It's my
It was
pencil,
about
so
a
I
lot
can
of
do what I
things.
want. with it.
Okay, so
Ooh,
what are we doing next? Okay.
Easter.
The next one is the Battle of the Black Faces, Tropic Thunder versus Othello.
Okay.
I
well,
actually don't know what Othello
Here's
is.
the thing. So Othello is about this kind of war general
Yeah.
who's black in a mostly white community.
Okay.
This is a Shakespeare play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah. So basically, it's Othello is manipulated by his friend Iago, and eventually,
The parrot from Aladdin.
right.
Ah.
So where it eventually leads to his downfall. My
Gilbert
thing,
Gottfried.
Othello is so easily unwound by the fact that he sees Desdemona's handkerchief in someone else's room.
And
Like
he just-
immediately
and it
spirals,
snaps.
like this, like literal seasoned
Now-
war general.
And on the other hand, Robert Downey Jr.'s character
Is a dude.
manages to keep his sanity despite the number of roles he's had to undertake in his life, where he's had to change.
He's a
everything
dude
about
playing
him.
another
True.
dude who's playing another dude playing another dude.
Absolutely.
And we're talking
Also-
purely Robert Downey Jr.'s character, not the entire cast of Tropic
No,
Thunder.
we're
okay.
facing off against the two black faces.
Okay.
Well, one of the black faces has a gun, so I mean.
No,
But it doesn't
don't
have bullets.
simplify it like that, Emile.
But he doesn't have bullets.
How dare you?
And one of them's a lead farmer.
He's shooting blanks.
This is true.
Anyway,
To be fair, he's a lead farmer.
there's this really funny thing where they did like fake behind the scenes stuff for Tropic Thunder about Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr.'s character like breaking down. It's so funny. It's like his wife and his kids dealing with his real life PTSD, and it's so funny.
I feel so stupid about this, but I think it's also just a testament to Robert Downey Jr. The first time I watched that, I didn't realize it was him.
Oh, yeah,
I thought it was just a different black guy.
No, he did it really well.
Like, that's probably the only way you could have pulled that off.
Right.
Now, I don't think you could ever do it again.
No. It was a one-time deal.
So, taking into account the behind-the-scenes footage about him spiraling, I think we're kind of...
So
we're a little bit closer now.
No, because here's the thing. When it comes down to the wire, his sanity does snap. Because, I mean, he was thrown into a war, like an actual war scenario, where, like, his life was in danger.
And he did well.
And he managed to snap out of it and, like, was able to succeed under immense pressure, whereas Othello loses his mind at a handkerchief.
For, just in the defense of Othello probably would have the better training in this situation, and neither of them really have guns at this point. So
Othello's a real warrior, whereas Robert Downey Jr.
Could play a convincing warrior.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Robert Downey Jr. could just throw like a napkin on the floor and Othello would lose his mind.
No, if it came down to fisticuffs, Othello would win.
If Robert Downey Jr. plays Othello as he's fighting Othello, we might have a problem.
The plot thickens.
Othello might kill himself in hoping that he'll defeat Robert Downey Jr.
From what you've described of Othello, I feel like that.
Yeah,
would be
Othello's
idea.
pretty weak from what I've gathered. I from an outsider's perspective on this, it sounds like this man is essentially the human version of Cupcake.
Well, physically, he would be able to dominate him, I think. But if it came down to like psychological torture, I don't know.
I feel like Robert Downey Jr.
Also, we never talked about hand-to-hand in previous fights.
Also,
so apparently, it's whatever their most like well-known thing is. And I would say the most well-known scene is him with the 2 Gatling guns shooting.
He had Gatling guns in that movie?
Yeah, I'm a lead farmer.
Anyway,
no, that's just me being a nerd. That's just me being asinine about guns. Anyways, also apparently outside assistance, Robert Downey Jr. does Wing Chun Kung Fu in real life.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's over.
And if we're doing Robert Downey Jr. versus Laurence Olivier.
Well, yeah. And I don't know if you guys have seen Ip Man, but that movie is wild. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Tropic Thunder on that one.
Yeah, especially if we're talking like old Robert Downey Jr., he probably couldn't feel anything at one point.
Oh,
sure. So many drugs.
He was just hopped up on Psycho like it was Fallout.
So we should be on the last round of prelims.
We have 2 left.
Emile wrote it really stupidly.
Okay.
Wait, I see.
Yeah, this, and then there's a 5.
It's not
these
my
are
mistake.
ignore these.
Stupidly.
I'm really close to the mic.
Are we not doing these then?
No, these got moved to the buy spots.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Just what's next?
These 2.
Gotcha.
These 2 are next.
Okay, so the next one is Manchester by the Sea and Face Off.
Okay, so which character from Face Off?
which
Nicolas Cage playing John Travolta or John Travolta playing Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Always John Travolta. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God!
I'm ready for John Travolta versus...
I've been replaced by Nicolas Cage. Oh my God!
Bye. So John Travolta with an identity crisis versus Casey Affleck with severe crippling depression.
Actually, I feel like Nicolas Cage is the better combatant.
Yeah.
No,
Nicolas Cage could kill
Nicolas
Cage fights like a demon. Have you seen Ghost Rider?
That's not even fair.
That was a
Nicolas
documentary.
Cage also feels nothing, but just as a human being.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage tried to set himself on fire like those Buddhist monks during the Vietnam War.
Oh.
They kept the cameras rolling, and that's when Ghost Rider was made.
That's also how they got the inspiration for Crank, actually.
What's Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I believe that.
Well,
I feel like the director of Crank made Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
Oh, so just guys on fire punching people is like his whole...
It's like
market.
poetry. They sort of rhyme with each other.
They really do. Anyway...
I honestly haven't seen Face Off since I was little, so I don't remember what that movie is, but I've never seen it.
I'm going to say Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage wants to take his face off.
From what I've heard, it sounds like Nicolas Cage would wear this man's suit.
Ooh, infanticide. That's a very strong. It's a very strong power.
On
to fight.
accident, but still.
If you're willing to murder your own son, then you probably have no qualms about murdering Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
If you can look crying Michelle Williams in the face and not tell her you love her, I don't know.
Wow, that
man
sounds stone cold Steve Austin.
I'm just excited for this last 2.
We're just trying to get to the
I know
next
both
one.
of them.
Okay, obviously Nick Cage would probably
Oh, we're gonna go with
We'll put the
Nick
money
Cage
on
after
Nick,
all
yeah.
the talk about Casey Affleck being a sociopath.
I mean,
Actually, I think the two you're looking at are actually the two that got the bye spots, so they could still possibly.
listen, Emile. Could you not interrupt me?
I'm so confused. As
We're in the
to
middle
how
of
many
talking
lives
about a
you
very serious
This
battle.
Important.
Okay, then continue.
Anyway, I don't know. I can't really compare because I have only seen parts of Face Off.
Does
So-
Casey Affleck fight anybody in Manchester by the Sea?
His inner demons. So
That
yes.
doesn't.
Do the inner demons know kung fu?
Don't cut yourself on that edge.
Yeah, what is it? Was this movie written by Mike Shinoda?
Oh man.
No, not to my knowledge. I don't know. In your guys' own personal experience, what's more
I'd be
traumatizing?
way more
What
afraid
do you
if
mean?
Nicolas Cage ran at me than if
Yeah.
Casey
But
Affleck
Casey
ran at me.
Affleck has those sexual allegations against him too.
I'm sorry, the what?
The sexual allegations.
Oh, him too? Okay.
Are we
yeah.
surprised?
No.
So
Not at
imagine
all.
Casey Affleck running at you with his pants off.
No, which is scarier still. Nicolas Cage with his pants off. Nicolas Cage takes off his pants and there's just another Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nicolas Cage.
In a cage.
Nicolas Cage can barely contain his
Yeah,
Nicolas
he has
Cage.
to.
Yeah.
It's
Alright, I will always
It's a
be more
chastity
afraid-
belt.
Why is it in a cage?
It's a
He's trying to
chastity
growl
belt with
at
like a
me.
raw iron his raw
Yeah.
iron visage.
Looking like the cage of Mensis.
You put the key in the mouth.
I mean, look at this.
Bye.
This is him dressed.
I don't want this anymore. Can we decide on
It's
one?
that face
Fine,
on the
Nick
chastity
Cage. If
cage.
you feel that strongly, we can go with Nick Cage. I don't care.
Oh, yeah, make sure your hair looks good for radio.
I'm taking a Snapchat.
You are the worst kind of person, Elena.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Let's go. We'll wait.
How about, okay, guys, Alaina before she checked her hair, Alaina after she checked her hair. Fight.
Well, there's a strong argument for either of these. Elena comes back from 5 minutes in the future. She's got an eye patch and a cigar. Punished Venom Elena.
what I've seen.
Kept you waiting, huh?
I appreciate it.
You're pretty good.
Oh my god. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Man,
you're
try to
best
remember
friends.
the basics
Just
of
saying.
CQC,
I've been
Elena.
thinking about playing those games for
Metal
like...
Gear Solid's my favorite game series.
Dude, I'm buying a PS3 when I get back from spring break just to buy the whole collection.
The whole collection. I actually did that.
Oh my god.
Very recently, I just did.
I'm buying
Anyway.
It was for Pete's birthday, but I've been the only one who's been using the PS3.
Oh, I'm not gonna have any like. There's
No qualms.
There's no qualms. It's just for me because I.
Dude,
am
check
not
Craigslist. I got
interested.
one for $30.
Oh my god.
$30 and it's backwards compatible.
So what's the next fight?
Yeah, it's
The
fine.
next fight is Babadook versus
Bobberducky.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
So the vampires or Abraham Lincoln, the like.
Oh, it's got to be Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah,
right?
it's Lincoln.
It's got to be
Main
Lincoln.
character.
Okay, think about this.
Okay.
All right, let's break this down. Lincoln in real life, pro wrestling champion, 7'2", bench presses 450
7'2"?
pounds.
Is this the Babadook?
No,
Yeah,
this is
it's just
versus
Lincoln, gay icon.
versus
I mean,
never known defeat in his life, taught
I mean-
himself law, uses an axe covered in silver, which is the bane of all demons.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like
Have you read
I
that
feel
book?
like the axe covered in silver might actually
I
come
started
in
the
it.
Babadook. Because,
How
okay,
is it?
the Babadook is nothing but personal demons. And if this guy's basically
He
his job is
defeated
to
it-
defeat demons,
There's a scene in the movie where he defeats his personal demons by hitting a tree really hard with an axe.
I think we are. I
Wow.
think it's
Yeah,
it's
that
already
That
yeah.
makes sense
It's
to
Lincoln.
me.
That's
It's Lincoln.
slaughter.
But honestly, with that stone cold logic, I don't
Yeah.
see how it couldn't be Lincoln.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so cool. He hits the tree so hard and it
Yeah.
explodes. It
It's
explodes.
It's like
and
a-
as somebody who has split firewood numerous occasions, can confirm that's
Yeah,
real.
that's-
This is one of those Amazon reviews. Like, it was so cool when he hit the tree.
Yeah. I didn't care for all the vampires, but I really liked it when he hit that tree really hard.
Okay, so since Elena's struggling with reading this,
Yeah, I
format,
think
do
you should
want me
just
to
read
Oh,
take over?
Elena's struggling. More like you are struggling to create something cohesive.
This is
Oh,
literally how the
what?
NFL does
Mom,
their stuff.
Dad, stop fighting.
Do you know how often we get that?
Actually, way too frequently.
Not enough.
All
Way
the
too
time.
frequently.
All the time.
Okay, next fight is
Beyond the one Emile and
Get
I
ready
are
for the
having
next
later.
battle.
the next
A
battle.
brawl is certainly brewing.
Also involves Abraham Lincoln
But a different form.
versus aliens instead of demons this time, as he takes on District 9.
Again, I will
If
go
he
over
can
the same
defeat-
points.
No.
Pro wrestling champion, 7'2", bench presses 450
But
Yeah,
this-
but he
this
doesn't
is a
have a
different-
gun.
Expert of diplomacy.
But this is a
He
different
has the
Lincoln.
Lincoln repeater.
This is Daniel Day-Lewis Lincoln.
Yeah, this isn't.
Daniel, did you?
I know.
Okay, we're talking about Daniel Day-Lewis. Did you see
He won for that.
Gangs of New York?
I did. I did. Okay,
He
so
learned
are
how
we
to throw
saying-
knives.
So are we saying Abraham Lincoln
I watch it so
with
many
the
times.
knowledge, with the fighting knowledge of Daniel Day-Lewis from Gangs of New York, or are we saying Abraham Lincoln as he was in
There
the
are no
Spielberg
rules.
biopic?
Daniel
There are no
Day-Lewis.
rules.
Because
my
then he
vision
can
of
knock.
Abraham Lincoln doesn't match up with yours.
Because he can knock the prawn on the ground and say, "Do you see this knife? I'm going to teach you to speak English with this knife." As he cuts the prawn's face open.
Yeah.
You know, I was totally
Listen.
going to be
It should have
gunning
been
for
Bill the
District
Butcher.
9, but
I don't. So
Should
District
have.
9 has futuristic technology. Like
versus
that, I
just
feel like
a
that
crazy
will
Daniel
win.
Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Daniel
Versus
Day-Lewis
Abraham
will
Lincoln.
method
Daniel
act his
Day-Lewis
way
and
out of
there-
the way of the lightning bolts.
So Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood absolutely would win against them.
He just kills all the prawns
That-
with a
He would
bowling
sneak
the
pin.
into his-
bowling pin. Oh,
He would
get
sneak into
ready.
his house when he was asleep and cut his throat.
No, he doesn't sleep.
Man, Daniel Day-Lewis is
I'm
just
I'm
a
talking
much more
Daniel
acclaimed
Day-Lewis would
Nicolas
do it to the
Cage, I'm
prawns.
slowly
Yeah.
realizing.
What are you? I'm you, but better.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis is just like Nicolas Cage, but he can act.
More
No,
talented.
don't you dare! Don't you even
Nope, you heard it first,
ring
folks.
and besmirch that name in my house.
Look, I love Ghost Rider as much as the next guy.
Oh, man.
So you don't like it very much. Then?
No, I love
If
Ghost
I'm
Rider.
the next guy.
I love Ghost Rider.
All right.
And just for that one scene when Sam Elliott shows up on the skeleton
Yep.
horse.
Yep, that's my favorite part of the whole movie.
That was a
actually.
pretty good scene.
So are we saying
My name
Lincoln
is Johnny
beating
Blaze.
District 9?
I'm still fighting. I don't know.
No,
futuristic
I will not.
technology.
I'm saying Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln suplexes the alien before he even gets a
I
shot
want
off.
Abraham Lincoln to go all the way.
Abraham Lincoln ran a
Versus
40-yard
an
dash in
alien with a
3.2
gun?
seconds.
As much as I want to back you up, Dom, if I say Lincoln, then
Dom.
like honestly, the next matchup for the semifinals is amazing.
Okay, linking it up.
Dom. Abe Lincoln ran a 4.240. He can outrun the laser beams.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, Abe Lincoln's fast.
Abe Lincoln beat the crap out of a guy one time.
There
like,
was
without even looking.
there have been theories by American historians that Abe Lincoln was actually just a shaven Sasquatch that learned human speech.
Well, I know they looked at his like genetics from like his descendants, and they had a ton of crazy mutations.
They were the
What?
true Ubermensch of America.
Okay, but like,
Oh my god!
like freckles are mutations. So like, what?
Yeah,
kind
man,
of
how bad
mutation-
would
what
you
are-
be
like,
if the
what
mutation you got was
level?
freckles? and
Mutations
he
that
got-
aren't found normally in the population.
Turns out he had an extra set of arms. He was basically Goro from Mortal Kombat. Oh, Goro for Goro for president.
So
No,
much better.
but they did the same thing with like Ozzy Osbourne. They looked at him and he had something that I think
Allowed
it was,
him to digest bat heads.
I think it increased amount of acetylcholine that was made or something like
Oh my
that.
Ozzy Osbourne?
That's how he survived all these years. Is he
Well,
literally
way to make me feel
processes
bad about
drugs
myself.
better
Thanks.
than other
Thanks.
people.
I'm wondering if I
That
should
is
see my
amazing.
Yeah.
I really hope I have that.
Thanks.
I want to
Anna.
figure out if I have that.
My name's
Only one way to
Alaina. I
find
can
out.
eat
Gotta
bat
get that.
heads without worrying
Yeah.
about getting sick.
Okay, next one.
Next up,
Barbara Ducky.
Tropic Thunder versus Krampus.
Oh,
Oh.
Krampus.
Well, it's Krampus.
Okay, no, Krampus, the entity, and all his little toy minions.
Versus the
'Cause-
entirety
'cause
of
they're
Krampus.
all-
Versus Robert Downey Jr. and Jack Black. It's the only fair way to do it.
Yes, yes, it has to be.
I'm gonna go.
And
with
Tom
And Ben
Cruise's
Stiller.
cameo.
Tom Cruise.
Oh.
Oh my god. That. Oh.
He just shows up.
That's my favorite Tom Cruise.
You guys want to watch Top Gun?
Right,
just
and
leaves.
then leaves.
And Krampus is like, well, yeah, and then he leaves, and then they
Oh
win.
yeah! Oh my God! This is the Tom Cruise. I love.
Krampus, there's no way
I
Krampus
love the
speaks
Top
that
Gun.
high.
I loved you in the volleyball scene. You were the big
That's how
You've
Krampus
seen
talks.
Jerry
Tristan,
Maguire, I'm your biggest
It
fan.
concerns me how good your German accent is, seeing as you look like the first string of the Aryan team.
Let me tell you something, Emile. My family came from Austria in 1880.
Oh my god.
The Civil War ended, and we're like, oh, it looks like everything is all quiet on the Western Hemisphere. And we just came over on a boat and just set up shop and been here ever since.
My grandfather is straight up from Poland.
Oh, my
So,
grandmother was
if
straight
that-
up from Poland.
Explain
I had a
enough
grandfather.
about me as a person.
I
I had a grandfather who
had
was
a great uncle
German.
from Poland. Didn't turn out very well.
Ew.
Legitimate thing, actually.
I had a grandfather who was German, but then, like, after World War II, his part of Germany got given to Poland,
Oh,
so then
yeah.
he became Polish. But then he hates the Polish.
Everyone hates the Polish.
Yeah, I know that's true.
It's like they made him
Sucks.
learn
And the
Polish,
Jews.
and he's awful
I
at
mean,
it.
Honestly,
hey.
Polish people are kind of the Jews of Europe.
Well, they are.
They
the
are.
Jews in
There were
Europe.
Jews in Poland.
Not anymore.
Oh, shoot.
Whose fault is that?
All right, we're gonna do a quick commercial
I don't know
break
what you're
before
talking
the
about.
second part of the bracket. Give ourselves a little breathing time and a little
Sure.
less racist.
And we're back. Hello again, everybody. This is Jurassic Hustle, a hustle 65 million years in the making. As always, I'm your host, DJ Metal Gear Flaccid.
This is DJ Drix. Wondering why he's here.
Yeah,
Anyway,
me too, buddy. Me
We
too.
got the bottom half of the bracket going on now.
Oh, I forgot about the bracket.
Go ahead
yeah.
and look at this. For those of you just tuning in, dude, we have like 10 minutes left. But for those of you just tuning in, we have a bracket of movies set up, and we've kind of changed the rules as we went.
We like the movies.
We do like the movies.
I like movies.
Is that your Christopher Walken?
No, you
I-
you have
oh,
not heard
you've
my
not heard
Christopher
it.
I was
Walken.
gonna
Anyway.
say, it's good.
Okay,
Okay,
my
let's start the
God.
brackets already. Yeah, because we
Yeah,
got
we
about.
only got like 15 minutes.
Honestly, we got like 5 or 10 just because they
Waco,
throw
bro.
fits if we don't. So
Okay.
They.
So I'm just going to jump right into it.
them.
We never actually answered Tropic Thunder versus Krampus. Who are you guys taking?
Krampus.
Absolutely.
Okay, Krampus wins in a
The
landslide.
Krampus wins in a landslide as is expected.
It felt like the wall.
Come and get into my sack, little boy.
I can beat you with a stick and
I'm
drag
going
you
to beat you.
hell.
I'm going to
What is
beat you
happening?
with a very large stick.
Oh, Dankashe. No, I can't
Good
do
addition,
it.
Emile.
I can't do it.
I like that a lot.
I tried. I couldn't. It's late. Anyway, next up. Face Off versus 12 Years a Slave.
Who in 12 Years a Slave? Like,
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, obviously. Okay.
Versus
Well.
Nicolas Cage.
Brad Pitt, I think.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt's number one in my heart, and that's what matters.
And number one on the field. Game plan.
So,
Oh, okay.
Johnson.
Is that like that Tooth Fairy sequel?
Hey, don't you dare besmirch the name. The game plan is
Okay.
actually fun.
The name
So,
of the Tooth Fairy, or the name
I would
of Dwayne
actually
The Rock
take Face
Johnson.
Off because I still feel like a mad Nicolas Cage would
Yeah.
kill just about anyone in that.
No.
Yeah, man, Nicolas
No,
Cage
no.
basically has rabies.
I don't think so. I feel
The
like
man is human rabies.
Nicolas
But-
Cage is like an enraged bull elephant.
I think
essentially he just
Brad
levels
Pitt is
African
like-
villages.
centered enough that like he
What
he
was
shows
that?
up centered.
Centered enough.
Yeah, he shows up and he's very calm. He's very collecting. He's very charismatic. He's all the C's.
And then Nicolas
And
Cage
then-
just took super male vitality.
Yeah.
And is
No,
going to
you
eat
are
your head.
underestimating
And-
the
Okay,
power
but let's
of
think
Brad
about
Pitt's
this. Let's think
charm.
about Brad
And while
Pitt's-
Brad Pitt is trying to find his center, Nicolas Cage has already ripped out his heart
Are
from
you
his
just-
center.
are
and
you
is
suggesting
I
eating
think
it.
that
Brad Pitt can seduce Nick.
I was
Cage.
about to ask, were you going
Oh
to?
my god, I want to
I
see
was
this.
literally going to ask you if you thought Brad Pitt was going to seduce Nick Cage.
Yes, the answer is a resounding
I think
yes.
Nicolas Cage would be strangely into it.
I
Yeah,
do too.
No, he'd be really.
Wow.
No, he'd be really.
You have a
into
real
it.
sexual aura about you.
who wouldn't melt looking into those eyes?
Angelina Jolie.
You know what? You
Hey.
just swayed me.
Too soon.
Also,
Yeah, you
There are a
swayed
lot
me
of
too.
children
That's cool.
involved.
Yeah.
None of them are his.
I'm giving it to 12 Years a Slave because
Yep.
Brad Pitt's gonna screw Nicolas Cage's brains out.
No,
I guess.
he's going to look at him.
And then screw his brain.
No, Brad Pitt would not give
He's going to
himself
screw
up
his
so
brains
easily.
out and then kill him mid-thrust.
Gone Girl.
I don't want to talk about that movie.
You do or don't?
I don't.
Don't.
I don't like
You
that movie.
Yeah, you don't.
You
wanna
don't like
get
that movie?
started. You don't want to get started.
I don't want to get into it.
All
Okay,
right.
anyway.
Get into it. Yeah.
No, the next one, it's the reason why I threw Dom under the bus with the whole District 9 bit. It's because I really wanted this fight to happen.
I know what it is.
It's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter versus Daniel Day-Lewis as Lincoln.
All right,
Yeah.
let's break this
That's
down.
so funny.
Both fighters, pro wrestlers, 7'2". Both can bench press 450 pounds.
So, but in
One gets
in,
an axe.
Hey, listen. In this reality, what we're really actually facing is a version of Abraham Lincoln that's trained to fight vampires, and an Abraham Lincoln that's trained to fight like
Oppression.
bureaucratic old men.
Now, those old men may or may not be vampires. It's
And
never
hey,
confirmed.
Interesting.
Hey, those old members of the Whig Party, they can be very spry, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
So-
they're probably hundreds of years old.
To
Pale
make
as all get out.
to make
Okay.
things fair, Lincoln Vampire Hunter gets the axe. Abraham Lincoln from Lincoln gets the Lincoln Repeater.
Oh, shoot.
The first like lever action, or the first like breech loading rifle ever invented.
Yeah.
He gets
But
the
it's-
tree that he
And it's
hit.
like, and no, guys, it's Lincoln. Real life Lincoln also gets Lee Harvey Oswald as kind of like a buddy.
He gets
Like
as
in
like a
the-
That's gotta be
as like a
awkward.
striker.
Yeah, as a striker, like in Mortal Kombat, you can just summon Lee Harvey Oswald.
Okay. Lee Harvey Oswald's also an insane person.
Okay, remember
So, trying
both fighters very weak skulls.
True.
Important to remember.
As
Very
has
true.
been
Listen,
shown.
Something I just got to throw out there. Abe Lincoln wasn't actually 7'2". He was 6'4".
Is that what?
Yeah,
That's
I'm pretty
his actual
sure
height.
But I believe that he's 7'2".
with the hat.
So we're just going with that.
Well, no, it's more that people back then were just way shorter.
Yeah.
So
The numbers don't
Abe
lie.
Lincoln was 6'4", and they were like, man,
Emile-
he's tall.
Emile, I apologize. I thought we understood better that when I said he was 7'2", I thought we were on the same page.
I thought you knew he meant he's actually 6'4", but he because
See,
of his
as
personality,
DJ Drix knows,
he's
I am a
7'2".
notorious liar.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay, so anyway, they're both 6'4", also still trained to fight old white people.
I still haven't forgiven you for Glockenshire.
What are you talking about? Well, my nan that lives in Gloucestershire.
Anyway,
Gloucestershire. Okay,
there's a
so
story behind that.
which one are we going to? Which Lincoln
it's a
has-
tough
I mean,
one.
honestly, one's trained to fight. I feel like this one's honestly kind of black and white, unfortunately.
Well, they're both trained to fight, but one knows pro wrestling and has the axe moves, and the other one just knows pro wrestling.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to put it to the axe.
Yeah, he's just one better.
I guess.
Okay, sorry, Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's upsetting.
Looks like
He's
your
gonna
last
come-
movie was
he's gonna-
Lincoln,
He's gonna come.
He did say that.
but it wasn't. Anyway,
Daniel
No,
Day-Lewis.
it's Phantom Thread. you
Daniel
fool.
Day-Lewis slated to star in Suicide Squad 2
Stop it!
next up,
as,
I see the
as
headline,
Killer
I'm doing
Croc.
our other
I
semi-
would watch
That's
it.
Killer Croc.
I'd watch
Oh,
it.
goodness.
You beautiful baby.
That would be amazing.
Our
He
other,
would. He'd commit to it too.
Okay.
It would be so
He
good.
sewed himself into an actual crocodile's body
Yes.
for the role.
That's amazing.
He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let DiCaprio get away with that one. I'm gonna put myself in a dead body of an animal too.
Whatever. Ace Ventura did it first, if you think about it.
Let's not talk about
that
that.
scene.
Krampus versus 12 Years a Slave, guys.
Oh,
To be
Okay,
fair,
so again,
Krampus
Brad
definitely
Pitt.
enslaves.
Krampus would go to hit him with the stick and be like,
No, I think Krampus has more,
I don't know.
No. Krampus has more of like a Hitler vibe, where he like can manipulate people into being just like people, as in like those little toys. Manipulate them into being so just like gung ho for his cause they don't even think.
But I have a question. Would Brad Pitt be able to seduce the Krampus?
Are you
Yes.
are you implying
did you
that
see the tongue at the end?
Are you implying that the toys have free will and autonomy?
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
Absolutely.
This isn't a
There's
Toy
no
Story
way in a
situation.
fantasy Christmas movie. There's no way the toys.
Are
can
you
have
Use
implying-
your mind. This
are-
is logic.
Are
we're
you
talking
implying
about.
this is a Toy Story type situation where the
The
toys
toys
have
are
simply
just gung-ho.
have been
I think
swayed
it is.
by a German dictator type figure?
We're not
That's
aiming
not-
for the truck.
No, that's that.
Thank you.
No, honestly, that is what I believe. I believe that they're their own kind of beings in, Krampus's world. And he's just like...
You telling me that intestine Jack in the Box is just like, I'm a friendly dude except when Hitler shows up?
No, I'm not saying
I'm
he's normally friendly.
I'm-
I'm saying he,
I'm
probably
sorry.
was existing. He had, some nice parents who, brought him up, And, he got exposed to, the Krampus lifestyle in college, and he was like, oh, I'll, try this out.
Is this
you
the
know?
Hitler Youth of Christmas?
And,
I'm
his
sorry.
his
Krampus
mom
is
was
actually-
like, why can't you
Krampus
just
is the
feel
alt-right
happy?
of toys.
Oh my god.
The alt-right of toys.
Oh.
I brought up Toy Story, and now all I can think about is the toy barn and that one dude dressed up like a chicken, and that's just, I can't get that image out of my
Okay,
head
so
right
we
now.
gotta make a decision. We got 3 minutes to show off.
I gotta say Krampus just because I don't think Brad Pitt's gonna be able to
No.
bang his way out of this one.
Also, he can't outbank. Krampus probably got one of those weird goat wieners. So
Is that a
The
good
dude
thing or a
is
bad
the
thing?
dude is part goat.
I've never seen a goat wiener, but I'm assuming it's probably as weird as a pig one. So
Yeah.
So you've seen a pig one then, is what you're saying.
I just know pig ones are weird. They're curly, aren't they?
Yeah, they're corkscrews. I think.
No, that's
No.
a duck. Ducks.
Shut up.
Ducks dongs are
Don't
corkscrews.
They're the
talk to
corkscrew
me. That's
penis.
not
Ducks
true.
ducks have the most
Yeah.
horrific dongs in the animal
They're
kingdom.
terrifying.
Besides
And they shoot
men.
out
Besides
fast, too.
sharks.
Wait, did you say besides men?
Yes.
Wow. Hashtag I'm 14 and this is deep.
Okay, so I think
Sharks have 2 barbed penises. I just want to get that out there. As many shows as possible. I just want to make sure people know.
Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Public service announcement.
Okay, I'm gonna say Krampus.
money's on Krampus.
Krampus
Sure.
and his weird shark
Okay.
penis.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Wait, we still got finals.
Oh, really?
LeBron
What?
James versus
Hey,
Michael
wrap it up.
Jordan.
I'm wrapping it up. Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter, Krampus.
Krampus.
Abe Lincoln.
Wait,
Okay.
yeah, he's a vampire. Yeah, he
Oh.
hunts this kind of crap.
Wait,
No, Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln.
I take
Abe
it back.
Lincoln. Hands
Abe
down.
Lincoln, 7
Okay,
foot
so
2,
Out of our
pro
PS
wrestler.
8'7".
Out of our PS
6'10", killing
Washington,
for fun.
Washington.
Yes.
6'20", killing for fun. Spread
30
the
stories high,
Delaware.
made of radiation. Anyway,
He's coming. He's
Yeah.
coming.
Anyway, I think that's our show.
That's gonna wrap it up for tonight. I want to thank our guests for coming in. Thanks,
yeah,
thanks
thank you
guys.
so
Really
much for
appreciate it. It was a
showing
lot
up.
of fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got it. Thanks,
They can hear
you
you.
jabronis.
Do you watch
Kona
Curb Your
Yara.
Enthusiasm?
What?
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I watch many things.
Okay, well, we're not off yet.
I
so
actually-
Anyway,
have a good night,
Thank you
everyone.
for
Thank you
having
for
us.
listening in. Thanks for being had.
Yeah, thanks. You've been had.
This has been Jurassic Hustle. Thanks for tuning in.
I love you.